Behind me is the first version of the new Mercedes-Benz E-Class that will arrive to the US. It is the E300, and it's called that because it uses a 2-liter, 241 horsepower turbocharged inline 4. Now you may think 300, 2-liter, what's the relationship? And there isn't really any anymore. Mercedes gave that up a long time ago. But let's not dwell on that because I'm sure there will be a bunch of other drivetrain options in the near future. A twin-turbo 3-liter V6. We could probably expect to see some variation of a high-performance V8. There will probably be a diesel as well, a hybrid, and on and on and on. The list goes on and on. But big news about the E-Class is that it is much bigger, a lot longer. 2.5 inches, 2.3 inches or so, maybe 2.8 inches, I forget exactly. But it is a significant increase in length. That probably benefits the interior space quite a bit. Exterior design is typical for Mercedes, a little muted, a little subdued, but that's kind of what you expect when you get a luxury car of this size. There is a lot of interesting technology inside, though, from adaptive cruise control and autonomous driving features and parking assist and steering assist, and we'll take a look at some of those next when we hop inside. Inside the new E-Class, this is the E300, and you see a lot of S-Class design cues. Mercedes has worked really hard in making the design of the interiors of the entire lineup look consistent from car to car. And it really comes together in pretty much every car they've done so far, both the C-Class, E-Class, everything, all the cars look very nice inside, taking the S-Class design cues. The instrument cluster is a full digital, LCD display, which looks very nice if we can keep it on because we're at the show, with multi-configurable, a lot of adjustability in the way it looks, and it looks nice and clean as well. The materials in here are gorgeous. The way this this dull flat wood looks, this burgundy leather, it looks very nice. Large display on the infotainment here. Storage area there with a power port for your USB, and it looks like a rubberized mat that may be for inductive charging, or it may just be like a nice mat to keep your valuables still. This uses Mercedes Command infotainment system, which works pretty good. We've had good experiences with it, although there might be a little bit easier to use variants in the segment. Controls are down here. For a lot of that, this is a touch feedback. It works. You can swipe controls left and right. As I swipe on that, you can see I'm controlling stuff on here. You swipe your finger on that to control this. You also have a dial down here to control it. We kind of like having redundant controls so you can choose the one that you want to use and not be forced to use something that you don't like. As you can see, though, the material attracts a lot of fingerprint dust and oil, which might be kind of a bummer. These piano black interiors tend to do that. Tech features are abundant in this car. You have all sorts of collision avoidance and mitigation features, adaptive cruise and steering assist and so on, and the options keep going on and on. One other cool thing about this car is that air suspension is available, and that's kind of a first for this segment. And what also is cool is I just noticed these are responsive too. You can swipe your fingers on them and it makes controls. You can also, looks like tapping them isn't going to do it. It's all going to be swipe controls, which is really interesting. Next, we'll hop in the back seat. And as we can see from the back seat, the dash just looks very, very attractive. It's really hard to get over how nice this interior looks. And when you're buying a luxury car, that's really what's important. Is when you hop in the car, you get sort of refreshed by the luxuriousness of the experience, and this car delivers on that for sure. Down here you have rear air controls and vents, which is really nice, and then another storage compartment down here with a 12-volt power plug. Unfortunately, I don't see any USB ports down here, which is kind of a bummer or disappointing, but you'll make do. Rear seat space is very good. My head is not touching the ceiling. I have plenty of room above me. My knees are not touching the seat in front of me. Lots of space. It is very comfortable. This model also has 2 sunroofs right here in the top, which is nice and easy to see. And then the seat material and stuff is very comfortable. Really nicely executed interior by Mercedes. To find out more about the Mercedes-Benz E300 and other upcoming E-Class models, be sure to visit Edmunds.com.